Sensory neurons. Definition. Sensory neurons are neurons responsible for converting various external stimuli that arise from the environment of an organism producing corresponding internal stimuli. They are activated by sensory input and send projections to other elements of the nervous system, ultimately converting sensory information to the brain or spinal cord. Definition. In complex organisms, the central nervous system is the destination to which transmit their data. In the case of less complex organisms, such as the hydra, sensory neurons transmit data to motor neurons or ganglia. At the molecular level, sensory receptors located on the cell membrane on sensory neurons are responsible for the conversion of stimuli into electrical impulses. Somatic sensory system. The somatic sensory system includes the sensation of touch, pressure, vibration, limb position, head, cool, and pain. The cell bodies of somatic sensory afferent fibers lie in ganglia throughout the spine. These neurons are responsible for relaying information about the body to the central nervous system.
I am a sensory neuron, and I have a very important job. The brain and spinal cord don't know anything about the outside world until I tell them. I have to tell the brain what is touching the skin, or if any body part hurts, or where the knee is, so that the body doesn't fall the next time it takes a step. All of these sensory messages.
Mechanoreceptors. Specialized receptor cells called mechanoreceptors often encapsulate afferent fibers to help tune the afferent fibers to the different types of somatic stimulation. Mechanoreceptors also help lower thresholds for action potential generation in afferent fibers and thus make them more likely to fire in the presence of sensory stimulation. Mechanoreceptors. Proprioceptors are another type of mechanoreceptors, which literally means receptors for self. These receptors provide special information about limbs and other body parts. Nociceptors are responsible for processing pain and temperature changes. The varying in pain and irritation experienced after eating a chili pepper due to its main ingredient capsaicin. The cold sensation experienced after ingested and chemicals such as menthol or ethylene, as well as the common sensation of pain, are all a result of neurons with which these receptors. Vision. Vision is one of the most complex sensory systems. The eye has to first see via refraction of light. Then light energy has to be converted to electrical signals by photoreceptor cells, and finally these signals have to be refined and controlled by the synaptic interactions within the neurons of the retina. The five basic classes of neurons within the retina are photoreceptor cells, bipolar cells, ganglion cells, horizontal cells, and amacrine cells. Vision. Macular degeneration. Degeneration of central visual field due to either cellular debris of blood vessels accumulating between the retina and the choroid, thereby disturbing and or destroying the complex interplay of neurons that are present there. Glaucoma, loss of retinal ganglion cells which causes some loss of vision to blindness. Diabetic retinopathy, poor blood sugar control due to diabetes damage the tiny blood vessels in the retina.
As painters see by the dendrites of the painter's receptor, stimulus travels across the cell body to the nucleus and the mitochondria are located. It travels through the axon from with the help of the myelin sheath, which helps it go through faster and much more smoother. It reaches the axon terminal, where it actually splits apart to the neurotransmitters, where the information is received to the brain.
Auditory. The auditory system is responsible for converting pressure waves generated by vibrating air molecules of sound into signals that can be interpreted by the brain. This mechanoelectrical transduction is mediated with the hair cells within the ear. Auditory. There are two types of hair cells, inner and outer. The inner hair cells are the sensory receptors while the outer hair cells are usually from efferent axons originating from cells in the superolivary complex. This is the setup and function of a sensory neuron. This is the cell body, and this is the nucleus. These are the mitochondria, and these are the dendrites. This is the axon. It has many synapses, which are jumps between. Auditory processing disorder. Auditory information is the brain processed in an abnormal way. Patients with auditory processing disorder can usually gain the information normally, but their brain cannot process it properly, leading and inherent disability. Auditory verbal agnosia, compression of speech is lost, but hearing, speaking, reading, and writing ability is retained. Thank you.